Okay, we've got lots of UFO news to go over today, so let's just get right to it. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like and subscribe and let me know what you think in the comments below. Okay, many of us have been concerned about the delayed David Grush op-ed. I'm very excited about that. I know you guys are too, but there was some indications that Arrow may be involved in that. Well, Chris Sharp is not worried. That's right. Journalist Chris Sharp, who has some good sources, says that Arrow is the classification authority for U.A.P. I am not concerned. Now, I don't know why that's not a reason for concern. If Arrow gets to decide what's classified and what's not classified, how is that not an area of concern? But that is what Chris Sharp says, and Chris Sharp is pretty in the know, so I thought I would share that with you. Either way, I'm hoping to get David Grush's op-ed this month, but we'll see. Meanwhile, did Anna Paulina Luna and Matt Gaetz actually see a video of an alien? Well, that's what I was hoping for. That's what was reported by Matt Laszlo. But is that what happened? Well, let's listen to Jeremy Corbell.
The other thing I want to say very directly, we had a meeting with Representative Luna, and it was a powerful meeting. And I have to say, she's a badass. I don't know much about politics. As a human being, she is a pit bull, and she is smart as a whip.
We were going to get 5 minutes with her. We ended up spending a lot more time than that. And I was really impressed with her. We got to meet her husband. Her newborn was there. Her key aides, she had a couple of key aides that were in the room. We closed the doors, had a great conversation. We can't really get into specifics about the conversation because it was private. You know, we agreed that it would be private. But at the exact moment that we're sitting there with Congresswoman Luna, this story breaks around the world about her. Her and Matt Gaetz, her colleague from Florida, had supposedly had a secret briefing, maybe classified, where they were shown video of an alien. And that story goes all over. Congresswoman Luna does not comment about it. She says, I'm no comment. I can't talk about it, which adds fuel to that fire. And it becomes this big scandalous story on social media, whipped into a frenzy, I think, on purpose by people who want to paint her in a bad light. Now, we have some insight into the legitimacy of the claim that was made. I don't know how far we should go, but I'm just going to say it now. If we have to cut it out, we will. But the story that's floating around is not legit. Okay, from what we know, there was no such video that was shown to her and Congressman Gaetz. So somebody got their information wrong. Maybe it was meant to make them look silly, or make them look sensational, or to, I don't know, whip up followers on Twitter or X or whatever it was. But we can say with some confidence that that story, as reported, is not accurate.
Well, that is very disappointing. So Matt Laszlo may have gotten it wrong. Did the source that gave him that information give him that information to make Anna Paulina Luna and Matt Gaetz look fringy? That seems to be what George is implying. But of course, we don't know the motivations behind all of that. I don't think Matt did it to make Anna look fringy. I think that he did it because it was a juicy story. George is debunking that idea. George and Jeremy are debunking the alien video story, which is too bad. Joe Murgia on Twitter has been outspoken saying that he never believed that story. So it turns out that Joe Murgia, UFO Joe, was right. Meanwhile, check this out. There is some MH370 updates, or an update. A Texas-based company, this is from ABC News, by the way. A Texas-based company claims to have new evidence in search for missing Malaysia Airlines flight MH370. There is new hope in the disappearance of Malaysian Airlines flight that vanished 10 years ago. The Texas-based company, Ocean Infinity, claims to have scientific evidence of the plane's final resting place at the bottom of the ocean, and is proposing an all-new, no-find, no-fee search. I am very, very confident that the government of Malaysia and cabinet will approve such proposal. Flight MH370 was a Boeing 77. Well, we all know that. But yes, so they believe that there is that they found it and they're going to go get it for free. I'm not seeing the hard evidence that it is there. However, I stopped covering MH370 after I saw a remote viewing team done by the future forecasting team, which saw it crash into the ocean. Now, it could be interpreted in a more anomalous way, but that's what they were seeing. Is it crashing into the ocean. There was an explosion in the air and it crashed in the ocean. One interpretation of the explosion in the air was a rocket strike. If that's true, then that would seem to indicate the MH370 videos of the orbs were deliberate disinformation designed to make this fringy. Because there was classified information, classified satellite information in that video that was not known to the public until later when that video was released. So there was some inside information seemingly in those videos. So it would have had to be an inside job. Those videos would have had to be an inside job, whether that's a authentic leak of an anomalous event or if it's deliberate disinformation designed to hide some sort of skullduggery. Who knows? Maybe it's none of the above. Maybe it's just a simple crash or even a tragic suicide in mass murder, basically. So, but we'll see if this Texas-based company is able to find it, and maybe we'll get some more answers when they analyze the wreckage. But yeah, okay. So meanwhile, Jaime Maussan gives us an update on the Nazca Mummy conference on March 12th.
Hola amigos, ¿cómo están? Bueno, transmitiendo en vivo aquí desde la Ciudad de México y quiero recordarles que el próximo martes 12 de marzo se realizará una conferencia de prensa en la ciudad de Los Ángeles, en el área de West Hollywood. Desde ahí, desde el Hotel Mondrian, se va a llevar a cabo esta conferencia de prensa donde se van a dar a conocer dos nuevos especímenes de los seres tridáctilos, verdaderamente impresionantes, en verdad se los digo, son parte del mismo descubrimiento, pero que pudimos obtener para su investigación muy recientemente y ahora los vamos a dar a conocer, además de que pues también se van a dar a conocer noticias que aún no puedo revelar, muy muy importantes. Han sido invitados todos los medios de comunicación.
Okay, there you go. Muy importante news is going to be revealed. Things that he can't talk about yet. They sound like they've got some Nazca Mummy bombshells to drop on March 12th. In addition to 2 new specimens, and I'm sure more scientific research, some juicy new bombshell information. I can't wait. Meanwhile, check this out. Konstantin Korotov, PhD, has a hypothesis on Maria being mummified. And for those of you who don't know, there is evidence to suggest that at least a few of the mummies were actually ritually mummified by the human beings of the time. And this is, I'll let you watch this. I don't want to give you another subtitled video. Hopefully my head didn't block off too much of that. Probably should have minimized my head. Oh well. But yeah, Konstantin Korotov wrote the book that I read about the Nazca mummies, and he did a very good, thorough, scientific a description of their findings, and it was a really good book. For more information about the Nazca mummies, Thierry Jamon also wrote a book about the Nazca mummies. I haven't read that yet, but either way, we're going to get new information March 12th, including some bombshells, it sounds like. But yeah, the mummies, some of them were actually mummies, actually mummified. So this is really interesting. From Richard Lang on the Good Trouble Show. There was a Freedom of Information Act request that was answered by the Pentagon, and they said that Bigelow Aerospace had ET crash recovery in their facility there. Now that's really interesting. We know that OSAP was trying to acquire a UFO from Lockheed Martin. Lockheed Martin was trying to divest itself of a UFO. OSAP wanted it, but the CIA stepped in and blocked that from happening. is the story that we've been getting. Now, according to Richard Lang, there was ET technology at Bigelow Aerospace. So did they get that from somewhere else? What exactly are they talking about? Are they simply talking about potentially an implant or something like that? What exactly are they talking about? Either way, really fascinating. Good stuff on Matt Ford. Really like it. Speaking of FOIAs, this is really interesting. Jon Stewart, many of you will remember, had issues with his phone. He had emails being swiped. He had his phone being tinkered with. He took that problem to an intelligence source that he has, and the intelligence source said it looked like it was the NSA. So he FOIA'd the NSA trying to get information on what was going on with him. He repeatedly FOIA'd them. They kept on kicking him out. So he has taken this up to Congress. NSA appeal. He is working with a congressional aide and also a congressperson whose identity is redacted. I don't know that person. So hopefully John can get some answers and some resolution on this. And if people are targeting him, hopefully something can be done about that. Good Godspeed, John. I hope it all works out and that persecution ends. Meanwhile, check out this. I've shared several of John Bell's UFO videos recently. He's one of these experiencers where the phenomenon wants them to get it on camera. They want him to share this with the world. And so I'm doing my part to share this with you. That's pretty cool. He's got a wide range of UFOs from very nuts and bolts craft. I was able to show one a day or two ago where you could actually hear the noise of the motor. It was really interesting. He's got a couple of them where you can hear the noise. Well, here's some that are a little bit more anomalous. He's got a bunch of orb videos. Check this out.
One of the orbs right here. There's another one just hanging out right here.
He says these can't be seen by the naked eye, only on camera. Very interesting. Buddy? Very interesting. That says a big, beautiful orb. He has another one where the orb is kind of changing shape. It's really interesting. That's like a perfect sphere. But there's another one of it changing shape. Really, really cool. And here is another one of it going really fast. Of a different orb going really fast. Check this out. It's just booking across the sky. It's booking, guys. It's booking. Pretty cool. It was pretty cool. All right. I love it. All right. Thank you, John, for sharing those with us. I really appreciate it. And meanwhile, in totally unrelated news, did you know there were inhabited bridges in the Middle Ages? I didn't know that. That was new to me. Inhabited bridges were marvels of the medieval age. By far the longest was London's, considered a wonder of the world. A brief thread on living bridges. And there's more pictures of other living bridges. But I did not know that. That looks like something out of a George R.R. Martin novel, doesn't it? I mean, that's pretty cool. I like it. Oh, meanwhile, this is a cool UFO video. It's talking about UFO videos. I got a few of them today. It's not the birds. It's not the birds. Wait for the UFO. Wait for the UFO. There you go. There's the UFO. There's the UFO. Maybe it's a bird watcher. Maybe it's a bird watcher. Aliens like birds. Who knew? I think that's pretty cool. Is that a dragon? Was that small? I can't tell. Meanwhile, here's another cool sighting. Check this out. This is actually an update on the Las Vegas UFO that happened recently. And this seems to indicate that UFO, that object in the sky, that fireball, and many people are familiar with the police video. Well, check this out. Okay, so that is the green fiery UFO, and here it is side by side with an infrared video of the same incident, or I guess that's the same thing. It's supposed to be the same thing. It's supposed to be the same thing at the same time. And as you can kind of see what looks like the same vehicles. turning at the same time. See, there's one that pulls in there that seems to be the same, showing the same thing. I'm not sure why there is an infrared in a non-infrared version of it. But as you can see, it's not. It doesn't seem to be hot. It is my understanding of this. It's not showing up like it does there on the infrared, which seems to indicate it's not a shooting star or an asteroid or anything like that. That it is much more anomalous in nature. So I think that's a really cool possible update on the Las Vegas incidents, because there seems to be some related incidents with the beings hanging out in the backyards that may or may not have been related to this UFO. Well, there seems to be further evidence suggesting that the UFO was a UFO. And it seems to belong to a category of UFOs called the fireball UFOs. I remember on Ben Hansen, on the episode of his TV show, they did an episode of devoted to a specific area of Ohio, where there was a cold lake where there was actually a submarine base because of for training submarines, because it was a very deep lake, and they had a lot of UFO activity around there. Specifically, fireball UFOs were very common in that area. So that's just a category of UFOs that the Las Vegas UFO may have belonged to. Pretty cool, guys. Pretty cool. But let me know what you think about that and everything else covered today in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up. I sure appreciate it. Smash the like button and the subscribe button and the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media, Facebook and Twitter, links below. Love to see you guys there. If you wanted to support Cosmic Road in an even bigger way, consider grabbing a coffee mug or a t-shirt in the merch store, or by becoming a channel member. Channel members are rock stars, and I really appreciate you guys' support. Thank you so much. Meanwhile, there are plenty of other videos on the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.